In this video, we're going to be talking about voicing. I'm going to demonstrate a little bit with Liebestraum number 3 by Liszt in a second. But voicing is all about the way you decide to bring out notes. It's really, especially when it comes to classical music as a pianist, it's how you can kind of add your own flair to the piece that you're playing. Especially when it comes to nocturnes like Liebestraum that I'm about to play that are much more focused on the musicality versus an etude, which is very difficult, but it's more technically demanding. When you play nocturnes like Liebestraum, yes, they're technically demanding, but you can listen to 10 different interpretations of the same piece, and it's going to sound different every single time because that's just the nature of a nocturne. And one of the reasons for that is because of this concept called voicing that I'm going to be showing you here in a second. And all voicing is, again, is just which notes you want to play a little bit louder and compare to the others. So if we're just playing a simple octave, even in the left and the right hand, just C octaves, we can just play the top C really loud, and the lower one a little bit quieter, or we can play the bottom one really loud and the top one really silent. So those are just very simple examples, but that's how you can work on your voicing. That's how you can work on things like what I'm about to show you in Liebestraum, is if you just take octaves and you start out by playing the top note as loud as you can and just tapping on the bottom note. So not even pressing down, just literally tapping on it and making contact. Once you can do that, then you can still play this top note really loud, but depress the left note a little bit so that it's going down, but it's not even going to register on the MIDI. But this note is going down, if you can see that. Then once you have that down, then you can go down a little bit more in the left hand. Or the thumb, excuse me, not the left hand. And what's going to happen is as you try to go lower and lower on this bottom note, you will eventually make noise because it's impossible not to. So you just want to keep going lower and lower. And then you can start bringing out that bottom note a little bit louder. And now you're playing both at the loudest possible. And then you'll switch. You'll just touch the top C. And then go down a little bit. A little bit more. And you can basically have it on a dial like that. You can affect the volume, maybe play this medium and this really soft, or whatever it is that you want to do. You can play around with those dynamics, but it all starts with just trying to work on those voicings, right? And then of course you can do the same thing with the left hand. So that's one way you can work on this. You can also just play a triad and do the same thing. Try to bring out the bottom note. Then try to bring out the middle note. Then try to bring out the top note. And as you practice this and get better and better, you will notice a big improvement in your playing. You will notice a big improvement in your playing because this is really the mark of a professional, is if you can get down this voicing correctly. That really separates the elite pianist from the really, really good pianist, right? So if you can even implement this a little bit into your playing, it's one of those things that will make a huge difference and something that you will want to have the further you get down your playing journey. The better you get, the more motivation you get to get better. You're going to want these voicings to be on point. So those are just a couple examples, ways you can practice this and get better. I'm going to play a little bit of Liebestraum number 3, just the first few measures. And I'm going to play it in two ways, and I want you to tell me which way sounds better and why. Okay, so as I'm playing these beginning measures, tell me which way I play it sounds better, A or B, and then I want you to also tell me why. Okay, So here comes the first version. And we'll stop there, and then we'll play version B. I messed up a little bit there because I was trying to exaggerate this so much, but hopefully if you're like me, you would say the first version was much better for a few reasons. First of all, it was much more controlled. Second of all, the voicing was so much better. These notes were all much quieter, so you could hear the melody. Right? All this right hand, this accompaniment. The right hand again, very quiet. And in the second version I played it, everything was pretty much the same dynamic, same volume. And that doesn't sound as good because it's hard to pick out the melody. Right? Especially in something like Liebestraum where the melody switches between the left hand and the right hand at different points. If you're playing everything loud or everything really soft, nobody can hear the melody that you're playing. And you want to make sure that the melody and the bass notes are coming out really clean because those are the two most important pieces. So melody should be number one, which in the beginning is just a C, right? And then you also want that bass note to come out second loudest. And again, this applies to any song. It applies to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It applies to Liebestraum. It applies to any piece of music. We can do Für Elise as well with good voicing. Or if we played everything in the same volume, it's not going to sound as good. It's tough to me to even play so loud like that because I'm so not used to it, something I try to avoid. So I would say as a general principle, what you want to do, since the melody is mostly in the right hand, is you want to bring out the right hand, make it a little bit louder, and soften up the left hand. Right, so you want to soften up the left hand in most cases so that you can really bring out and really hear that melody. But hopefully that helps. Any questions, comments, let me know. I'm offering lessons right now if you want to get started and you want to work on these concepts I'm showing you. Just comment down below and I'll reach out. I also have a free PDF, has 34 essential tips for the adult beginner piano player to get you playing as fast as humanly possible. That is completely for free. Link to that is in my description down below. Again, my name is Josh and happy practicing.